You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
But I think JJ Starling was asked to do way too much a season ago for this team. He had to play the most minutes by far on Syracuse basketball, nearly 35 minutes per game. Nobody else on the team even hit 3-0. I think Eddie Lampkin was second on the team in minutes played, and he was at 29.9. So JJ Starling, by far and away, played the most minutes per game on Syracuse last year. He was expected to be the team's primary scorer, which he was, and I don't expect that that's going to change a whole lot this upcoming season. But he averaged 16 shot attempts per game, and nobody else on Syracuse a year ago even took 10 shots per game. So not only was he relied upon to be the team's leading scorer and the team's primary shot creator, but he was taking more shots than anyone else on the team, and it wasn't even particularly close. On top of all that, he was also asked to play a lot of point guard as well. Because you think about it, a year ago, who was Syracuse's point guard? Well, it was Jaquan Carlos, who wasn't very good to begin with. And then behind Jaquan Carlos, Adrian Autry would frequently bring up how Syracuse didn't really have another good ball handler. And so JJ Starling, at many points during last year, was asked to play point guard. So he was playing point guard and shooting guard a year ago. Now he averaged 18 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. So he wasn't awful or anything like that. JJ Starling had a pretty decent year. However, with him being asked to do so much, I think it caused his efficiency to go down from the previous season. He shot under 41% from the field, under 27% from the three-point line, under 70% from the free throw line. He's a good player, but JJ Starling is not Superman. So let's get into this season and the ideal role for JJ Starling, which is a slight reduction. Again, I'm not sitting here saying that JJ Starling's bad, he's no good, and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just saying, okay, he was asked to do too much a year ago. Hopefully, he's not asked to do all that. He doesn't have to be the team's primary scorer, or he doesn't have to play point guard. So let's dive right into it. I still think he's going to be the team's primary scorer. When you look top to bottom on this roster, he's the one guy you look at and you say, hey, we need a bucket. Let's give the ball to JJ Starling. Yes, you got Naithan George. You got Donnie Freeman who can score. Nate Kings is mostly a three-point shooter for Syracuse, although he could put the ball down on the floor too. And also you got Naithan Anthony coming off the bench. I should mention that. But JJ Starling should probably lead Syracuse basketball in points per game next season. But I don't necessarily expect that he's going to be taking 16 shots a game. And if he is taking 16 shots a game, I don't expect that JJ Starling will be the only player on Syracuse taking more than 10 shots per game at that point. He is best when he is going downhill and attacking the basket. And hopefully a guy like Nate Kings can space the floor for Syracuse. And a guy like Naithan George, the new point guard, can distribute at a high level and get it to JJ Starling, which will help his efficiency go up. Now, speaking of point guard, I don't expect that JJ Starling's going to have to play a whole lot of point guard this upcoming season, which he didn't have to do his first season at Syracuse when they had Judah Mintz. So I think it's going to be something like that. The only real way he plays point guard this upcoming season is in the event of an emergency, aka an injury to Nate George, which, knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen, right? But you got Naithan George, the Georgia Tech transfer, who's going to be the starting point guard, 12 points, 6.5 assists last season, which led the ACC. And then behind George, there's true freshman Luke Fennell. And because George is already a minutes eater and going to get 35, 36 minutes per game, Luke Fennell is not even going to have to play a whole lot as a true freshman. Obviously, if he plays really well in limited minutes, his role might increase. But the point is that Syracuse is pretty set at point guard for 40 minutes in a game. So JJ Starling probably not going to have to play a whole lot of point guard. As far as minutes per game is concerned, Starling last year played over 34 minutes per game, similar to what he played his sophomore year, which was his first full season with Syracuse basketball. The year before that, as a freshman, he was with Notre Dame. I could see that number going down a little bit for JJ Starling. Maybe 32 minutes per game. How about that? Because keep in mind the backup to JJ Starling this upcoming season at shooting guard is Kyan Anthony. And also keep in mind that Nate Kings, even though he's probably going to be the starting small forward for Syracuse basketball, is probably better off being a shooting guard. And so you could see lineups where if JJ is on the bench, Nate Kings becomes the shooting guard, and a guy like Tyler Betsy becomes the small forward for Syracuse basketball. So there are plenty of different ways to give JJ Starling more rest than what he had last year and the year before that. What do you think JJ Starling's role is going to be this upcoming season? Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Overall, for me, I believe that he's still the team's primary shot creator, and he's probably going to lead the team in scoring. But I'm hoping that his efficiency goes up because we're not asking him to be something that he's not. That's where I'm at with JJ Starling.